Okay, so now we're going to make Parmesan grits. The recipe is in the second cookbook, A Full Table at Gables. And again, I measure by sight. So, um, I I didn't grow up with grits, and I don't like plain grits. But these Parmesan grits, the former owner of Howland Manor Winery had them in Nashville, and she called me and she said, "Linda, you need this recipe." So she asked the chef what was in them, and they gave the ingredients but not the amount. So I've learned to hopefully make it right. I'm going to walk over to the refrigerator. And get out the chicken base that I showed you yesterday or at another time. I found that with grits, there is no such thing as instant grits or 5-minute grits. You really have to watch them and keep them stirred. The original recipe called for chicken broth, so I'm putting the chicken base in with the water and making the broth. We'll put this on and we just keep stirring and adding water to it, and then once it gets thick, I will add butter and whipping cream, and then Parmesan cheese. Okay.
What we got going on with all this here?
Well, right here I'm doing eggs, and I'm going to go get. I put hot pepper cheese in my eggs, but Zoe doesn't like the cheese, so I've made her a separate batch. The other is getting ready to make the sweet potatoes for the bridge luncheon, and the other skillets are to put the French toast in when we get ready to cook it. I'm going to put the turkey in the oven next. It's a small turkey breast and shouldn't take real long to cook, but as sure as I wait until later, it'll need to cook longer. But the hot pepper cheese, we'll see if John likes it or not, but it makes the eggs light and fluffy and hopefully good. And again, I buy the hot pepper cheese wholesale, and it's a little less spicy than what you get in the stores. Yes, in 2015, we did some remodeling in the kitchen. I've always had a commercial stove, but I got a new commercial stove. The other stove, my convection oven, could serve as a regular oven or a convection. In California, they have certain rules, which is where this is made, so this can only be a convection oven. Small things for some, big things for me. In order to turn it on, you turn it down. To turn it off, you turn it up. My mind says it should be turn it down to turn it up, off, and turn it up to turn it up. But I've had to replace the pilot lights like 4 times. I'm just not all satisfied with this stove. However, it's here, so I deal with it. On the hood, when we did the remodeling, we added the hood, and it's a commercial hood. So if you're over here, you can hear the grits boiling, and you have to keep stirring because they start getting lumpy, and they'll stick to the pan really quick. So we're going from breakfast to the lunch preparation for the bridge group. They've requested turkey and dressing. I have a small turkey breast. One of the bridge members is allergic to chicken, but she can have turkey. So I'm just brushed it a little bit with butter and oil, and I'm going to put it in a 350-degree oven for about 2 hours or less. We'll see. It didn't say to cover it. So now what I'm going to do is fix the dressing for the turkey, or not to serve with the turkey. While John was doing work last night, I was doing work too and prepping for the dressing. So I've cut some celery and onions, and I'm going to saute them. And I kind of do a mixture between store-bought and homemade. In that I'm going to use stovetop turkey and Pepperidge Farm seasoning breadcrumbs. I've checked the labels on both, and none of them have any kind of chicken derivative in it. So these going to go back to breakfast, and I'm going to turn the Italian French toast.
So you started about 6, I guess, this morning, and
Yeah, I got up at 6-ish. I was up actually a little after 5 and went back to bed thinking I'm not sleeping, but in essence I was, because the alarm went off at 6:15. Let that get, the celery takes longer to get tender than the onions, so we'll just keep letting it cook and stirring. I'm ready to add whipping cream to the grits. So these will just keep cooking, and I like to cook them and they don't have that gritty taste to them. So depending on how thick it gets, I just keep adding the cream. The bridge luncheons today, I'm doing the turkey and dressing, sweet potato casserole, herb green beans, and the royal pumpkin dessert with whipped cream, homemade rolls. And while these things are cooking, I'll make a picture of the almond tea and show you how to make it. To make the almond tea, you take I filled a tea kettle full of water, which is approximately 10 cups of boiling water, 4 Lipton-sized tea bags, and I use Lipton tea. I use decaffeinated tea because so many people drink decaf tea, and you really can't tell the difference if you don't know that it's not. At least my guests tell me they can't tell the difference. So I've let the 4 family-sized tea bags steep in the boiling water, and I'm going, for a regular one, you add 2 cups of sugar. My bridge groups want Splenda, so we're adding 2 cups of Splenda. Some people like their tea less sweet, so it's up to you. You can do more or less. So if you're adding sugar, the good old Southern way is to add your sugar while your tea is hot, so the sugar will melt. So I'm adding, for a gallon, will make a gallon. I'm adding 4 teaspoons of imitation almond extract. I buy it by the quart wholesale. You can buy it at Sam's or sometimes at Walmart. It's getting a little bit hard to find right now in the larger sizes. But just be sure you get imitation. Don't get pure vanilla. Pure almond. So I've put the boiling water, approximately 10 cups or a tea kettle full, into the pitcher. You add 2 cups of sugar. In this case, I've added Splenda, and 4 teaspoons of imitation almond extract. Into the you add a frozen can of lemonade. And then I just add to this to fill up the pitcher to make a gallon with water. I've been making the almond tea for approximately 20 years or more. A local restaurant had it on their menu, and they had Grey Gables almond tea, or almost almond tea, something like that. So I sell it by the gallons for people that want to take it home with them and use it. You have to call ahead. So there you go. Now I'm going to turn around and keep stirring. Two different things here. Stir the grits. I only use Kentucky Legend ham. It's my favorite, and it's non-gluten. I have guests that like it and will buy it and take it home with them. It's like I only use white lily flour, and that's primarily sold on the East Coast. So I have people that will buy it and take it home with them. I'm going to wait to actually cook the ham till right before we get ready to serve it.